Hi guys, it's album review time. We've got Evergrey and Theories of Emptiness. This album came out on the 7th of June. This Friday just gone on Napalm Records. 11 tracks, the 14th studio album from this Swedish progressive metal band. Their last album was in 2022, A Heartless Portrait. This band, man, they've been going for over 30 years. I mean, man, sometimes you think, I don't know if it's just an age thing. I don't know, but sometimes you think a band's new. If someone says, have you heard Evergrey? Yeah, of course I've heard of them, and I've heard some of their music. I haven't delved deep into their catalogue, but I'd say, yeah, they're a new band. When is it you say they're not a new band anymore? Is it after 40 years? I'm not really sure, but man, 30 years, that's amazing, that is. So this album, like I said, I've not delved deep into Evergrey. I have heard albums of theirs and I've liked every single one of them. But I've never really got into them big time. That's changing from this moment on. From this album on, for the rest of their discography, I'm totally in. This is one amazing, dense, dark, atmospheric, but mainly moments of beautiful, uplifting melodies as well. It's just brilliant, man. Beautiful synth work, piano parts mixed with some of the heaviest riffs you will find on a non-extreme metal album. I'm serious about this. Is so heavy but so beautiful at the same time. The balance is just, it's a thing of beauty, man. This is such a brilliant album. This is produced by Tom England and Jonas Ekdahl. So Jonas has sadly left the band. He's the drummer, and you know, this is a massive thing because I've obviously been like reading on Facebook and stuff, and it's a big part of Evergrey, Jonas is. But I'm sure that they're going to get someone who's going to be amazing and, you know, and fulfill Jonas's part in this band. I'm sure that they're going to get someone who's great. They're going to take their time, I'm sure. They might have even found someone already because I'm not totally on Facebook constantly. And just getting onto the sound of this album, it was mixed by Adam Getgood as well. It's such a heavy album. When the riffs kick in on some of these songs, man, I mean, the hairs stand on the back of your neck. It really hits hard. Like I said, there's almost like a dark beauty across this album. And like I said, I haven't delved deep into Evergrey, but apparently this sounds a little bit more uplifting than past albums. Evergrey fans can let me know in the comments below. But to tell you the truth, guys, Evergrey fans, I can't go back and listen to 13 albums worth and get into them, because anyone who watches my channel and anyone who watches it for the first time, I've got to let you know that, you know, I will be going forward with music. Evergrey, like I said, on all their discography, I'll be going forward. I can't really go back. I haven't got time for that. There's too much music going on. But I'm definitely following them from now on, going forward. And this is a brilliant place to start for me. What an album. Absolutely love this album. Tom England on the vocals and guitar. I love this guy's voice. I actually covered his a few songs where he's appeared, you know, guesting as well, and I've always liked his voice. He's got this tone about him, unmistakable. That's always a good start for me. If you know what, you know, if you know what a band, who they are when a song plays, oh, that's Evergrey, you'd know, because of Tom England's great vocals. What a vocal he's got. Just fit perfectly in the beautiful atmosphere that this band create. Henrik Danage on the guitars. Obviously, between him and Tom England, it's just such a great guitar-driven album. There's some great synths as well across this album, but the guitars are the focus. But you've got this atmosphere built up by Rickard Zander's keys that are just, it makes that Evergrey sound even more special. And I was thinking, I know I said that they were a Swedish prog metal band, but I think this is one of them bands, along with Witherfall and bands like that, where you could say, you know, they're their own thing. You know, it's hard to pinpoint. You have to pinpoint a little bit. You have to give people some idea what a band's like. But to say this is just a prog metal band doesn't do them justice. They are Evergrey, you know, and they've got this sound that I think no other band has got, and that's really what makes them stand out. And that's why they're successful. So Rickard Zander's keys play a massive part in that. I love the way that, you know, there's piano parts, then there's this atmospheric synth work that just plays across the whole song sometimes. Then you've got Johan Niemann on the bass, and of course Jonas Ekdahl on the drums. This is a thumping album. It's heavy, it's tight, there's some real intricate playing at times. It's not as complicated sometimes. There's a lot of prog that's out there, you know, that becomes too overcomplicated. I probably wouldn't have latched onto this album as much as I did if it was. I like touching upon prog metal, but not where it comes too complicated and gets me out of the groove. This band have got a groove like no other band. Amazing stuff. Let's run through the tracks. Falling from the Sun is the first track. It's the first single, it's the opening track, and it's brilliant. The introduction to this album is perfect, man. It's a thunderous, heavy riff, some complicated, intricate guitar trickery within that riff as well. That pounding verse makes its way to an absolute monster of a chorus. It's an almost uplifting reprieve from the heaviness that surrounds it. So the chorus is like an uplifting reprieve, if you like. What an amazing solo as well, man. As England and Darnage, I only know this because they trade off in the video before bursting into a short sort of twin lead part. Such a brilliant and really memorable opening track. Misfortune is the next track, track 2. It's a heavy, brooding, dark track. The atmosphere is just irresistible as a cool bit of synth work sort of from Rickard Zander just injects some beauty into all the heaviness. Such a cool gang vocal chorus as well, just gives us a song, sort of puts it in almost a different direction I didn't expect. It's dense though, it's dark and irresistibly hooky at the same time. To Become Someone Else is the next track I want to talk about. After a sort of quiet beginning to this track, the album sort of turns the heaviness to the max with a real cool prog metal epic song. There's twists and turns throughout this song that never lead to anything but melody though. It might not be as immediate as the first couple of tracks, but you're hooked in just as much. There's a middle section that's really cool. It's almost symphonic in nature, sort of with the keys giving it that touch with a riff that kicks in, and you just feel those guitars hit you in the chest, man. It's amazing stuff. A really impressive 1-2-3 punch to start the album off. The next single, Say, is the next track I want to talk about. A really accessible heavy rock riff is the driving force within this song. Classic rock vibes really for me here, sort of with almost Hammond organ touches, I think. And it's a brilliant choice for a single because the chorus is huge. It's a really emotional track as well, sort of that's enforced further if you've seen the video, which sees, this is the video that sees Johan like thanking the fans at the end of the video and walking off. Quite sad really, really stirring stuff. And then we go to Ghost of My Hero. Well, if that last song wasn't emotional enough, they hit you with a gut-wrenching ballad, man. It's a ballad, but it's heavy as hell, with sort of hung out, sort of dense riffs working perfectly alongside melancholy piano parts. England is just perfect here. His tone just cutting through all the darkness and heaviness. A beautiful song performed to perfection. We Are the North is track 6. This huge prog metal track that sort of has these Eastern melodies, courtesy of some brilliant atmospheric synth work. It's more of a deeper cut, you know, just has that feel of a deeper cut, but could be a fan favourite. I could imagine this being a fan favourite for Evergrey fans seeking a sort of more complex and darker Evergrey side. There is beauty to be found in all the complex heaviness though. That's definitely something that the band possesses throughout every track on this album. One Heart is track 7. Wow. Just wow. This is brilliant, man. Perhaps my favourite song at this moment in time. That classic minor riff is just perfectly a bit of me. A song that sees the band more of a straightforward sort of chugging mood on this track. It's probably the catchiest track on the album, but at the same time being a neck breaker. I fucking love this song. The Night Within is the next track I want to talk about. A swirling sort of synth melody leads the way into a brilliant song, a really uplifting track that sounds like a single, if ever I heard one. The chorus is just irresistible, modern heavy rock that sort of teases those heavy metal riffs. How they can write a track that like this that just mixes a ton of riffs with an absolutely irresistible uplifting feel is quite extraordinary. Great track, amazing stuff. Then we move on to Cold Dreams. This is the latest single featuring Jonas Rinksey and Selena England. This is a single. It's probably my least favourite track on the album. It's definitely fitting in with the rest of the album musically. There's emotion, there's heaviness, there's loads of atmosphere, of course. And there's only one thing that probably, no, it's just me, it's just my personal taste, but I don't like harsh vocals, and they are just dotted about within this song. It's just my acquired taste. I'm sure this will be a popular song for fans though, and it would have been a bit higher, you know, in my favourite songs of the album if it wasn't for those small parts, those harsh vocals. Just my opinion, guys. Our Way Through Silence is track 10. AOR metal, I would say. The riff could almost be an AOR track, but a metal version. England's gorgeous tone over the piano is just soothing, man. The chorus again is huge, and the song dips in and out of those piano parts. And man, there's some amazing choruses across this album for sure that sort of hook you in on one listen. And this is one of them. It's just one to add to them. Probably the catchiest chorus on the album. And then track 11 is just a 2-minute piano, strings and narration. It's called Theories of Emptiness. It's the title track. And that ends what is one amazing album from Evergrey. So guys, this is available everywhere now. I totally recommend this. Even for people that, you know, I know Evergrey are a big band, but there's so much music around that people may have, a bit like me, left them to the side a little bit in past years. It's going to change, man. Evergrey, Theories of Emptiness, totally recommended by me. Let me know if you got it or you have listened to it in the comments below. I'll see you soon.